Hey, and welcome to the Kanpai Chronicles. I'm Asuka, or you can just call me Achan.
And I'm Hachi.
This podcast is about our travels across Japan while we lived there, and I lived there for 5 years.
I lived there for 2 years.
We really liked to travel together and had a lot of experiences that tied in together. So we will tell you about those experiences, how to avoid some of our most terrible experiences, and how to save
your friend in her sleep.
Yeah, and save money for those experiences.
Save money.
Yeah, save money is the most important. But Hachi, what should we talk about today?
Well, Chad, I'm thinking about the best story of all. The stuff that you have to put on your dating profile, whether it's like romantic or like for friendship. You got to put that on your Hinge or your Bumble. At least the one I'd put on there. Fun facts about me, and I bring up a story, is the time where we lost each other in Tokyo after we had to cancel the hotel, and we got help from a paraplegic illegal Canadian immigrant in Japan and his Japanese fiance.
Yeah, that station that we lost each other was Ueno, right?
Ueno.
Yeah. Yeah, they were doing some kind of construction, so somehow, even though we went to the same station, the construction wall was dividing it, so we were on opposite ends.
Yeah, and my phone had died, because I had charged it, but it had been a whole day traveling. So my phone was dead. I couldn't contact it. I had to find a plug. Found the plug upstairs on the second level by the bathrooms, and it just kept dying over and over. So for an hour, I would call her for 30 seconds, and it would die again. Actually, not even that, 5 seconds. Die.
Yeah, it was really rough, because if you guys don't know, so Ueno is in Tokyo, and it's a really big train station. So it's just tons of people, and it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, trying to find a person without a phone there.
And it did really help that fake situation in a period worse. We had lost our main meeting point, which was the hotel, because thanks Expedia, your customer service is great in canceling it, but also read the fine print, y'all, because I thought it said $500 for a 5-night stay. It was $500 per person.
Wait, so did Expedia say that, or did the hotel say that? Because I remember we decided to go during one of the busiest seasons of the year, which was Christmas.
No. This wasn't Christmas.
When was it?
A weekend.
Oh.
Because it wasn't fall, remember?
But I remember a Christmas tree.
I think it was close to Christmas. I don't know if it's Christmas.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
My memories are blurry. I had a daiquiri from the stress, so I can't remember.
I remember it was a 3-day weekend, which was a very popular travel weekend in Japan. I don't remember what holiday it was, but it was one of the 3-day weekends. Tokyo, 3 days of fun, 3-day fun, and yeah. So we were just friggin' English teachers. I can't afford $1,200 between just myself. And I don't remember if it was $500. I know it's per person was the price, and it might have been per night. And I was like, oh, fuck this shit. And so we did not do that. I canceled the hotel after she was like, your kanji is so good. Japanese is so good. I was like, oh, you're so sweet, girl. Thank you. And then I was like, oh, JK, I can't do this. And I wandered the streets, canceled the hotel, and then my phone died before I could meet up with her, who should have been there. But this bitch done missed her flight because she was doing her hair.
Was that the one I missed? I'm pretty sure I missed my flight So I missed my flight twice, because I remember missing my flight when I was supposed to meet you in Okinawa.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah, I remember this one because you're like, my hair was drying. I tried to finish braiding it. I couldn't get there in time. There was traffic and construction.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Because the one for Okinawa is just because I got on the wrong train. So basically, the main lesson from this story is that read the fine print.
Read the fine.
Charge your phone. I think after that trip, that's when we both bought pocket, the portable chargers. Yeah.
Portable chargers. And here's the crazy thing about this. So we couldn't find each other. This Lost in Ueno Station lasted for like an hour. And the crazy shit was, she was right below me.
Yeah, she was upstairs. And I don't...
Like, directly below. Like, not even, like, to the side, but, like, directly below me.
I don't know what called to me that I decided to go upstairs. But I went upstairs. And there she was, sitting beside this restaurant by an outlet, crying because we couldn't find each other. And
my phone was dead, and we had no place to stay.
And guys, this is how by the book Japan is. So we're both sitting there trying to charge our phone, and this officer or train station manager, whatever you call them, I just Eki-san, I can't translate that into English. He comes up to us, and instead of talking to us and like trying to ask us if we need help, seeing this one crying foreigner and this other stressed out foreigner, he's like, "Hey, you guys can't sit on the floor here. You can stand there, but you can't sit on the floor." And then he walks off.
So basically useless.
Yeah. But our knights in shining armor were...
this guy yelling at a man using the hand-out bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. I do. Now that you say it, I remember it.
He was so mad. He's like, and he yelled at him in English, so he clearly didn't know what the fuck he was saying. He was like, "Don't you know some people have to use it?" Or he said something along those lines. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he was mad that this dude was using the bathroom who was not handicapped, and he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but even though he kind of came off a little off-hinged when we first met him, he was really nice, introduced us to his back then Japanese fiance, but now they're married, and helped us find a place to stay so that we wouldn't be on the streets in Tokyo for the holidays.
Parts though.
Yeah, but I want to summarize before we go too deep in there. Because it's a wild trip.
That's true. So basically, we're stressed out, and we're like, you know what? You know where I bet has a charger where we can sit down and not be yelled at?
The Hard Rock Cafe.
So we go downstairs where the Hard Rock Cafe is. It's one of the few places that are like kind of open that are nearby that we know of, and by that I mean we saw it on the way.
And we know they speak English. They speak English at those kinds of restaurants in Japan because they know it's like a tourist attraction for Americans that need to find food that they're familiar with when they go to a different country.
And we needed some comfort. Like we
oh yeah,
all the comfort we could get.
I needed my comfort daiquiri.
So what happens is that I have my laptop. My laptop's not dead. So I set up my laptop and I start looking for new hotels. And like I said, like Achan said, it's a 3-day weekend. Okay. So they're all, the only thing not booked are like 4 or 5-star hotels that are like, five, like the one we had accidentally booked, like $400 a night. And we're like, shit, we can't afford this. And so I'm stressing out trying to find that. Can't find any Airbnbs. Can't find anything like that. Just stressing out trying to find a hotel or an Airbnb. They're all booked. And then Achan is like, I'm going to go talk to that paraplegic guy because he had said, hey, if you guys need help, I'm going to be hanging out over here with like, I guess it was like some art studio thing going on, and come and find me. So she goes and does that. But she's gone for like an hour, like 2 hours even.
Was I?
After that. Yeah, it was a long time. And you came back every now and then, like every 30, 45 minutes, but I was like, where is she go? God, like, I'd say you're gone for like 2 hours, and so my stress is increasing. I'm like, she's dead. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if you meet me for the first time, I come off as really quiet, kind of standoffish, but I really, I just talk to people for a long time sometimes.
She's trying to tell you she's a future brood of India, so just look out.
Yeah, if you see me on the back of a milk carton, it's something everybody saw coming.
The last time she was seen getting on to the back and that motorcycle headed down the road.
And guys, this is actually, I don't know if she knows this, but that's a true story. I have gotten on a stranger's motorcycle before.
I know, that's why I told it.
I did think I was gonna die when I was doing it. But yeah. I guess I'm like the optimistic traveler that will just rely on strangers sometimes.
I'm kind of like, everybody's going to kidnap you, cut you, try to steal from you.
Yeah, because one of his options when he was trying to help us was that we could stay at his friend's place and that they would just stay like upstairs or something and not bother us. Yeah. And we would stay there for free.
Yeah. But they didn't have a shower.
I don't remember that, but I remember you didn't want to do it because you didn't want to be with strangers.
I didn't want to do it because they didn't have a shower. That was my biggest thing.
Oh, and then also, I remember that you didn't want to do Airbnb because you didn't really understand the idea of Airbnb back then, and you thought we would be like staying with a random person. Which, I mean, I guess that kind of happened in Taiwan, but she was a sweet old woman, so.
I think I did start looking at Airbnb out of desperation, but I think they were taken too.
Yeah, I think so. And then
because it was I wish I could remember what holiday was. It was a really popular one, but I don't think it was Christmas because I don't think we wore like light jackets to Disneyland on this trip, but we didn't wear like thick jackets. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't remember packing.
But I also remember like the Nightmare Before Christmas ride was Christmas themed.
Okay, and we gotta look at pictures from this place because I don't.
Yeah, we got it.
I would say like you should tell them like what you did in those 2.5 hours and she left me alone. That's what you really need to say.
Well,
I was stressing out trying to find a hotel.
It's kind of hard because I remember one of the main reasons I kept coming back in to check on you is because I came back to sip on my daiquiri. So what Tipsy Asuka remembers is that I kept going over there and we kept trying to go through different options. I was telling this guy, like, my friend's not really comfortable with the idea of staying with strangers. And she wants to be comfortable. So she really wants to stay in a hotel. And that's the thing she wants to do the most. So if you guys know anybody that can help us find a hotel, or if you guys know any options or areas that might have cheaper prices, and just kept going back and forth between checking on what you found, drinking my daiquiri, and going back to them and talking, and then hearing this guy's story about him being from Canada and living in Japan for the past 2 years without any visa or anything.
His visa expired. I think that's what he said.
I don't know if he ever had one, but he was doing photography in Japan, and the main thing because when he was there at the station was to do photographs for a client. And the main thing I could think of was how in the world did this guy manage to get to Japan and has his whole entire business here with no visa? Yeah, it took all of this work to join the JET program just to be able to go to Japan as an English teacher. But yeah, and his fiance at the time translated everything because he told me himself that basically he could order just a beer in Japanese and say hello and things like that. And the main thing he kept asking me was how we became so good at Japanese, which I told him we basically lived in isolation. And so we had no other option but to use Japanese. But yeah, and then eventually we all ended up heading inside and all sitting at a table together. And even more craziness happened after that.
You're skipping a few parts again, though, because what happened is...
I told you I drank some daiquiris, so my memory is a little blurry on that. So, I'm pretty sure I had like 2 or 3 daiquiris.
What happens is that she comes, like, after a while, they go back and forth, and then finally, the fiance comes in and is like, hey, I think I can get you a love hotel. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's where I was leading us towards, is where we all come in and we're all sitting at the table now. And then this is
after she books us the hotel, I'm like, go call him in and let's buy him a drink. Like shit, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's why they all came in, because after they said, let's buy him a drink. And I like in some chips, so like their dinner. I mean, by this time it's like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, this is how I ended up drinking more than 1 daiquiri.
Pictures from that trip, but like, here, though, where are they? Yeah,
And after moving to America, my phone was stolen. So yeah, I don't have pictures on me right now.
Pictures of us, though.
Yeah, I remember her suggesting, the fiance, now wife, suggested that we stay in a love hotel, which was horrifying to me because I understood what they're supposed to be. But honestly, one of the best places we've ever stayed at.
It was very nice, even with the, advertisement for a $15 dildo on the wall.
Like, I have to say, if you want to go to a themed hotel and you want a place that you know is going to be private and clean, love hotel. Because Japan is not some seedy country. They will clean those sheets for you.
I mean, you want to make sure that it's a well-priced love hotel because, you get what you pay for. I'm just saying.
That's true. And there are some that are super expensive.
Yeah, and I would not take a black light to that. That's just...
I would take a black light to a normal hotel, though, so...
That's true. But especially a love hotel. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know what a love hotel is, let me just say apartment walls in Japan are thin. And in Japan, it's a very polite society, so they try to be as quiet as possible. And I could just say an activity that a couple likes to endure together can be kind of hard to be quiet when doing it. So you go to a love hotel to do that. Or if you have children, a lot of people only live in 2-bedroom apartments with like 2 to 4 kids. And you can't do that activity with your kids there all the time. So,
I mean, you could, but that's pretty early sex education.
That or they better all be babies so they can't remember anything.
Oh, making babies for more babies. Okay. Gosh, that's an uncomfortable conversation. But
yeah, that's what love hotels are for.
Yeah, they're there for getting busy and the mizzy. I don't know. Anyways, so they were so nice to us. And the fiance was nice enough to even walk us all the way to the love hotel, which was really great. We're really gracious, which is probably necessary since I'm pretty sure I outlasted at this point, and my phone was still dead. So,
yeah,
that was very nice.
Even to this day, like I still sometimes follow their life on social media because I'm a stalker. So
they had a baby, right?
No.
No, he had a grandkid.
He did. Yeah, he does have a grandkid. His daughter was already an adult and everything in Canada.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was like 50-something when he met us.
I mean, she looked like she was young though, so.
She is gorgeous, so.
She was beautiful, yeah. I was like, how did that happen? But if you hear this, I'm just saying, maybe he's a pretty blunt guy. Like,
I would say she's just one of those people that are beautiful inside and out, and...
It's true. It's very true. I found the picture of us at Tokyo Disneyland. Okay. November!
Oh, in my head, I was kind of like, maybe it was Thanksgiving. If it was really close to Christmas, but not Christmas, and it was a long weekend, it was probably Thanksgiving. Because for some reason, Japan celebrate Thanksgiving.
I think they have another holiday at the same time.
No, I know what it's called. It's called Thanksgiving Labor Day in Japan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. They use it as an excuse for adding extra holiday. Because in Japan, they try to have at least one holiday a month.
Japan does have a lot of holidays.
It's to force workers to take time off because otherwise they will just keep working themselves to death.
Oh, you're right. They birth Thanksgiving Day. There it is.
Yeah, I specifically remember because I ended up asking another Canadian from a workplace I worked at why this holiday existed, since I never saw any turkeys or anything in Japan.
Yeah, okay. It's I don't think it has the most holidays, but I think it might have more than the US.
Oh, 100% more than US. Like every time I was talking to people here, I was like, yeah, I'm on a vacation on a holiday or doing something. And they're like, wow, there's a lot of holidays and festivals and stuff over there, isn't there?
I feel like the US just keeps comboing holidays to like give us less time off, and it's like, damn, Protestants, I'm just kidding. But like but it's kind of like, oh gosh, like Can we just have all the presidents we like's birthdays? Like that would be great. Like and presidents too. Let's have president. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be great.
Yeah.
All the founding fathers and the President's Day. Let's just have it all. Can we have Marie Curie? Like, is Marie Curie American? I feel like she is. Is she not? Might not be.
Was she French? I can't remember.
Might be French. Oh, she's French. You're right. But she's cool. I mean, she died for science. Like, I feel like that's worth a holiday. Can we have a Marie Curie Day? Like, I don't know. Just putting it out there. I feel like we need more holidays.
Yeah, but I feel like while I was in Japan, the holiday I was excited to see though was the Emperor's birthday on December 24th.
Because that made it like a whole week basically. It's great.
Yeah, and us foreigners were able to celebrate Christmas, but when the era of Reiwa began, it no longer existed since the Emperor changed.
Man, it did. It just was on a different day.
Yeah, and it's so insignificant, I don't even remember what day it was.
According to the first search on Google, Japan has 16 public holidays. And the U.S. only has 12. So, Japan wins. Not by as much as I thought, though. I thought it was a greater mark.
Yeah, I think in the U.S. they're just really clustered together. Or, like, some of them are during the summer when you're a student. And then a lot of them don't even allow you to, like, take off work.
Really? No, it's true though. Like I feel like if you have like a federal government job though, or like if you work in like a situation that's like close to the federal government or like in the DC or something, you get federal holidays.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like you don't really get them. Like,
yeah, I have a friend here who's a teacher, and Columbus Day just happened, and she was still working at school.
We had off here. Everybody had off here because everybody goes by the federal holiday.
I think it had to do with something with like the days that were left over, because there were other schools that did take that day off, and so I think they didn't have that day available anymore, so they had to go to school and work that day. I was like, wow, that wouldn't happen in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, COVID did a lot of the education system, which is unfortunate for a lot of kids falling behind. So maybe, I don't know if although that was a few years ago, so I don't know. And it was so it can't be a snow day. So I'm trying to think of what it could be. Like flooding?
I don't know. Like if we see one snowflake drifting from the sky, everything's closed.
Everything's closed.
Everything except for Waffle House. Everything's closed.
Waffle House is eternal.
I just know if ever another snowstorm does come, because we drive like we don't know how to go through the snow. I guess we don't. The best place to get stuck is at a Waffle House.
You know, that's true. I've actually driven like in a snowstorm across southern states before. And yeah, everything was, it was close to Christmas too. Everything was closed except for Waffle House.
For some reason, we just don't realize that we should just put some chains on the tire, and that takes care of the whole problem.
I mean, it takes care of a lot of the problem. Or salt. Just salt. If it's going to snow, salt your roads. Okay. Don't salt it after because it'll help, but it's kind of too late. Like, you need to salt before.
That's true. Or sand.
Yeah. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. Going back to this story. So the fiance of the paraplegic illegal Canadian immigrant takes us to the Love Hotel. And as we're walking in, you know, the guy, whatever you're picturing as the guy running this Love Hotel, yes, that's him. That's it. You got it. Okay, like balding in the middle. It's a little messy, very greasy, has some weird moles on his face. Like, is smiling really creepy with some weird teeth. Yeah, that's him. That's it. You got it. You're correct. And he's letting us know that we can get free breakfast in the morning. And we're like, thanks, bro. I really appreciate that. Or maybe it wasn't free, but he's like, we have breakfast. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the strangest thing about the Love Hotel so far that I've noticed about Japan.
And this was kind of disturbing. Like, I know like what to expect, but like this, two people walk out as we were entering, and it's just this really two very sad looking people. So I guess whatever happened was disappointing for them both. But one
is like this, again, same type of guy, but instead of being happy, he's sad. So he's sad and a little disappointed. And next to him, this very sad and no baldy kind of greasy guy with looking kind of nasty, is this lady girl who is dressed head to toe in pink, bright pastel pink with makeup, and she looks like a doll. She actually looks like a doll, and she also looks sad. So like, and they're walking out together, so I'm like, I think we know what's going on here, and I think we know what kind of district we're in when we walk down those narrow corridors.
Yeah, 100%. I was too drunk to notice any of these details.
Yeah, we were in the red light district, for sure. For sure. Like, there weren't red lights in the red light district anymore. That was a past thing. That's things to call it because they don't put red lights out. But where we were is definitely the modern day version of that. It was a narrow, we got off the train station, went off the main road, walked down this like back alley that like curved downward into like this kind of like ditch thing, like tucked away in a corner, and you have all these little small shops that are still on despite the main street being mostly closed, and they like people like going in looking kind of seedy, and then there's us. two young 20-year-old foreigners in this back alley walking into a love hotel. And, honestly, you could tell they did a lot to quote unquote care for their customers, because there's 2 doors. Like, you walk in through 2 doors so that it's like more soundproof.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, and so that was kind of cool. And what they could do is you could order food, and they would leave the food in between those 2 doors, and then you could just come and get it so that they didn't have to see you.
Yeah, it's very important to keep your identity hidden in Japan. Like, so many YouTubers, they don't even show their actual faces. So just imagine if you wanted to have an affair, like the Love Hotel will help keep your identity secret and everything.
People ideas like that.
Just so you know, Japan is one of those countries where I've heard so many affairs happen. So
I think just I've heard something similar as well. I think it's not uncommon for the couples to sleep in different rooms.
It's honestly the reason why I stopped using Hello Talk as my language exchange thing, because I would just talk to so many married Japanese women who would tell me about their husbands who had multiple women and just hardly ever interacted with them. So I was like, wow, this is depressing. I'm never marrying a Japanese man. Goodbye.
And yet here you are.
Here I am. With a Japanese husband.
And the baby.
Yeah, and the baby. The cutest baby. Who looks like the Asian version of the Gerber baby.
Asian version of the Gerber baby. He does, though. It's true. Like, I've seen pictures. It's true. And honestly, yeah. It had a couch, had a table, full walk-in shower. Like, the bed was nice. Kind of weird to get to because it was like in a corner, but it had like gossamer curtains. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, and it was a very bright red. I remember that.
Yeah. And, a huge TV, had the option for karaoke and games. Now, at this point, we were like way too like strung to do any, like, partake in any of the, I think they had a Wii in there, like, to partake in any of, like, the video games or the karaoke, because we're, by this time, I think it's, like, 10 or 11 o'clock at night, right? It's pretty early.
And we're, like, old ladies, so.
Well, you have to remember that we actually had been working that day. Like, we had gone
to... Oh, yeah. That's true.
And we took a plane after work to go to Tokyo. So we had worked all day and then had this very stressful experience. So the whole night, we basically just stayed up talking about, like, writing and drawing and, like, basically going off creative ideas. Basically bullshit. We're shoot. What did they say? Shooting the shit? Help me out. Shooting the shit. Yeah, we were shooting the shit. And then everything got deleted when she got a new iPad. So, but, oh gosh, yeah, it was an adventure. But and then I couldn't get up at a reasonable time to get to Disneyland the next day because I was so tired. Like I just watched her get ready, and then by the time she was ready, I guess I'll get up. Because I was so like my body was like, you went through a lot, you need to rest, and I'm like, I really don't want to stay in this little hotel any longer, but I also don't want to leave.
I don't know. As long as it's not really cheap alcohol, no matter what, no matter how much I drink, I'm usually like somehow a morning person and just snap back.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of this story is, I don't know if we taught any lessons about this. A, read the fine print on your hotels.
B, plan in advance. Really, if you want to have a nice hotel experience and you want to do something on one of the busiest holidays ever, or during just any of those busy times like Golden Week or anything, plan in advance. Don't do like us and just like, hey, babe, you want to go on vacation on this 3-day holiday? Yeah, babe.
I think it was last minute. I think
It was definitely last minute. We were like sitting there like, oh, there are tickets. Did we even buy them on the Disney site? I thought we got it from somewhere else, and we met this woman.
We got it from like Canoe or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then C, love hotels.
not a bad option.
Oh yeah, I definitely suggest that you at least try once to stay in a Love Hotel. It's like a capsule hotel. It's its own experience. If you want like a cool story to tell people when you come back home.
I feel like I wish we had ordered some food because we were full by that point, but like we could have given some reviews on the food, but I feel like we didn't order any food. I think the kitchen was closed actually. We got there so damn late.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get back. We'll get back next time.
Hey, this is Asuka. Thanks for kicking back with us today. We hope you enjoyed sharing a drink with us as we chatted about our adventures in Asia. Join us next time for another round and a story about how we met and began our first adventure in Japan. Until next time, take it easy and keep those travel stories close.